Hi, it's started right now, I think. Hi, everybody. I am Sarjan from JCI Beşiktaş. We will be together during our online contest. I'm gonna be your presenter, and it will be my first experience. So if I, sorry, uh, sorry, it's, I think it's YouTube open, so the voices is mixed. Dear great family of JCI and dear juries and all the audiences, welcome to our second part of the JCI Turkey online summit, which has taken 4 days till 19th of May. Today, according to our program that already mailed to everybody, we have public speaking online contest, as you know. We are planning to finish it around 5 o'clock. If so, we have a limited time. Now, I would like to present our Turkey president, Mr. Altuğ Türkdalı. So he has a speech. So it's your turn, Altuğ.
Thank you, Serjan. Dear lovely JCI members, senators, and dear guests, welcome. This weekend, we have the second step of our leadership summit. We're gonna start with public speaking competition. First of all, I would like to thank you, JCI Çankaya and Ömer and Bekir, for their support. JCI Beşiktaş and our lovely Serjan. And JCI Bodrum, Şükrü, thank you for your effort. Dear judge, thank you for your know-how and for your support. It's always nice to see you, and I really feel we are stronger when we are together. Dear speakers, I know it's not that easy to have a speech in public. It's not easy to speak in front of the cameras, but it's a good opportunity to improve your skills. Good luck, have fun, have a great weekend. See you soon. Thank you, Serjan.
Thank you, Altuğ, dear our president. Thank you for your speech. Actually, we would like to physically together, but because of this corona pandemic period, as you know, we have to stay our homes. But hope next time we will be together in physically. But during this process, we will have to stay our houses. So the healthy is most important thing right now. So please stay at the houses and keep safe. Now, best wishes for all the contestants and good luck for them. So wishes enjoy for the all audiences. Now it's their turn. So our first contestant is Ezgi Tığlı from Eskişehir branch. Is she in the? Is she online right now, or I cannot see her? She's coming. Okay, I think we will wait a little bit time. So our juries, would you like to add something to say? Anything while we are waiting her?
Good luck to all participants, all competitors. And it looks like it will be an amazing Saturday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arkın. And Yağız, would you like to add something?
I just want to say everybody enjoyable weekend and Saturday.
Thank you, we appreciate. And Ezgi, would you like to add also something?
Hi everyone. Good luck all participants. That's all.
Thank you. We wishes our best luck for everybody. I think she's coming right now. I'm checking at the same time on the group chat part. Is she coming? No, not yet, I think. Okay, let's talk about together. How is your life is going on during this pandemic process? How do you feel? Would you like to say something? And our subject, yes, our subject. Just a second, please. Hi, Ezgi, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm a little late.
It's okay. Just you are our first speaker,
Yeah.
so it's your turn.
Yeah, thank you very
When you
much.
are ready, you can start.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, we can start if you want.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ezgi. I'm 32 years old, and I'm joining this competition from JCI Eskişehir branch. We have been locked down for 60 days and here open in 4 days upcoming. We can't go out in 15 locations in Turkey. Today we have a subject, and our subject topic is education is the key to empowering our next generation. Nowadays, the humanities start that education is really important, and we have to educate ourselves, even if by ourselves. Firstly, I would like to point out children's education. Think about the seeds. Seed is growing up and becoming a tree or a plant in many years, like this. Do you know how long does it take to grow a seed? Any idea? Any idea? Is there any idea? How long does it take to grow a seed? It needs enough time. It depends the type of seeds, like a child. Each child would be needed a different type of education. Some can understand topics by observing. Some can understand by hearing. And in my opinion, it's concerned with his or her brain or character, which can be improved by education indeed. I mean, the brain, also the characters can be improved by education. Secondly, if you would like to think about strengthen our next generation's future, actually, we have to provide correct education, each by each and day by day. We have to group them, we have to observe them and grow up them like seeds by waiting enough time, giving only what they need essentially. Today, we are living bad days, like coronavirus periods. We are purchasing only what we need, actually, the essential things. Eventually, I stand up for education's importance to our next generations, enlightening their futurity. Then I would like to polish up my speech. Education is the passport for the future, for tomorrow, belongs to those who prepare for it today. This quote is from Mr. Malcolm X, who is the human civilist, who is human civilist and also minister of the American. Maybe you know him. And here is my passport for my education and to the next generation.
Okay. Thank you, Ezgi, for your speech. Now it's our jury's turn, so they will calculate your scores. So we will wait it.
Okay.
While we are waiting, we can have some conversation. How do you feel? Are you excited?
Yeah, a
How do
little
you
bit.
find yourself during the contest?
Yeah, a little bit. It's my first time, so.
Yeah, it's my first time too. Okay, we are waiting. Our juries, they are ready. If you okay. Now it's our second speakers. I think Esra Özdemir is out of the list right now. So we will continue Daria Baykal. If she's ready, we will take her to our. Is she coming? Because they sent a message on WhatsApp. I think Esra, she will not compete. What's the third? At the same time, I'm trying to follow the chat part. Okay, the third one, the Daria Baykal from Ankara branch. If she's ready, we will take her on a contest. And sorry. Now we are waiting Daria. Okay, I think it will take a time. So we have an announcement, by the way. While we are waiting, I can tell it from NOM. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There's a knowledge competition at 9:30 p.m. So please join this competition. It will start at 9:30 o'clock. Daria, is she ready? No, I think. Daria. Actually, I don't know what will we do during this part. Is anyone connected with Daria right now? Technical issue. Okay. We have a technical problem right now. If she's trying to connect by phone, maybe it's okay. She has come, I think. Hi, Daria.
Hi, do you hear me?
Do you hear us?
Yes, I hear you clearly. Sorry, there was a technical problem that I had to log in again.
Okay, no problem. So good luck. It's your turn.
Sure.
Okay.
You will start the chronometer when I will start, right?
Actually, I'm not sure about this, but I think someone has taken
Can you
the
just
time.
wait for 5 seconds because there's this sellers on the street. I need to close the window. I cannot hear because of them.
Okay.
Biraz sessiz olsanız. All right. I can start whenever you want.
Okay, when you are ready, you can start anytime. Good luck.
Let me start with a question. Does anyone know what is the difference between a black and a green tea? Let me give you a clue. They're from the same plant, but there's only one difference between them, which is how they are processed. Why I'm telling it here is that the processing of a tea plant to either a black tea or a green tea defines what will it be in the end. So we can resemble this with a metaphor to education system, to educational process. And the plant is a human being. And the educational process is how you process it. And in the end, the human being, the person himself or himself will determine his future, his career, or who he will become in the end. Dear jury members here, dear audience, distinguished people listening to us here. Today, I'm gonna discuss with you different dimensions of the following statement. Education is the key to empowering next generation out of poverty. And I will do so, analyze and examine this statement in 3 headings. First, what do we mean with education here? Second, what is empowerment? And third, why do we emphasize the next generations here? And finally, to conclude, I will tell what all these have to do with poverty. Would you mind if I take out my shirt? No worries, as you see, I have a shirt inside. Sabancı University. Sabancı University and some other universities and schools is beneath my character. And they all nourished my future. And they made me the person I am by investing to my future. But before the formal education, there's also the informal education phase, which also contributed to my future, like my family, my friends, and all the people I have met throughout my life. And coming back to Sabancı, you all know about late Sabancı, Sakıp Sabancı, who was a leading industrialist and who even didn't educate from university, not even from high school. But yet, he was a very wise person with a vision to invest to the future of the young people. He founded Sabancı Foundation and Sabancı University, and he empowered the young people and invested to their future to break their vicious circle of poverty. To give you another example, by a funny quotation by famous singer İbrahim Tatlıses. And he was saying that had we had the Oxford University in our hometown, Urfa, and we chose not to attend it. This funny quotation implies that these capabilities and the opportunities the poor people do not have in order to have a formal education. But he had the God-given voice, a gift to break his vicious circle. But what if he didn't have it? And what if he didn't have people to support his education and with people with a vision around him? And then he was still stuck in the circle of poverty in the constructions he was working in. So coming to empowerment, to my second point. Empowerment, as we define it, is the process of gaining freedom and power to do what you want and to control what happens to you. And coming to my last point about the generations, I will combine both two. But before that, I would highly recommend you to read the UNESCO report on sustainable development, which begins with education. And here in this report, UNESCO is saying education can prevent the transmission of poverty between generations. And the reason, the very basic reason underlying here is education can combat the underlying structures of poverty and breaks its vicious circle. Because now you have the choice. Now you have the consciousness. Now you have the enlightenment and the capability to change your future, your fate. And education has also have documented effect on other causes, underlying effects of poverty, like nutrition, like economic empowerment, and all other these opportunities that the poor people have. And education, furthermore, have broader effects on the poor people, on the marginalized people. And once you give like a basic education, in return, you will take all the effects like 10 times. And there are reports that they're also earning much more when they are subjected to high quality education. Dear jury members, distinguished audience, today I try to compile you the reasons that why education is essential in empowering next generations to break their vicious circle of poverty. Today, what I want you to take with you while you're living here is that I want you to feel how lucky you are to take a high quality education, which you took as granted, but is a luxury in a world of inequalities. And I want you to realize what effect it had in your life to build your career out of poverty, and how you will carry this to your children and next generations. Lastly, I would like to tell that education empowers the next generations to break the vicious circle of poverty, not by a twist of fate, but a solid ground with a given opportunity. And everybody deserves that opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daria, for your speech. And now I'm checking the YouTube messages. You have lots of supporters here. Your plant analogy, I think. Everybody knows ABC, Ayşe Başak Çakır. She has mentioned she liked it very much, that plant analogy. So good luck for you, and everybody's supporting. But also the ENG, she has also supporters on the YouTube. Now we are 84 viewers on YouTube channel, by the way. Okay, so also, by the way, I would like to repeat our topic for someone who missed the topic. It is education is the key to empowering our next generation out of poverty. This is our today's contest topic. Now our next speakers is Oytun Süllü from Eskişehir also. If he's ready, Oytun, can you hear us? I think he's trying to say something, but I cannot understand right now. Is technical problem or?
Okay, yeah, like my microphone was
Okay,
muted.
now I can hear you.
Okay, but everyone else is here. Are we going to continue like that, or we were going to make a setting after that? I was going to start.
Okay, our juries is ready.
And is everyone going to be in this room, or they're going to go to the breakout room?
I'm not sure for that. I think we are going to do break the other room, I think.
Okay, yeah. Everyone else is leaving. Okay, 1 second.
1 second. Okay, they are going. JCI Çankaya said. Okay, I think everybody is gone to other room. Okay, it's your turn, Oytun. So we are listening to you. Good luck.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Dear jury members, ladies and gentlemen, our dearest friends and supporters who are following us through YouTube live streaming. My name is Oytun, and my topic today is education is the key to empowering our next generation out of poverty. In order to make a beneficial assessment, I have to explain the meaning of poverty. Like a tree, poverty has many roots, but among the many causes of global poverty, one criteria stands out: education. Not every person without an education is, of course, living in extreme poverty, but most of the extremely poor do lack a basic education. Despite signs of improvement in most European economies, a staggering 113 million people, or around 25% of the total EU population, are still living at risk of poverty or social exclusion. Widening the wealth gap is a strong signal that economic political systems need an overhaul based on the view of eradicating poverty is a public good and thus a moral and political obligation. Those living below the poverty line will also be more likely to keep their children out of school, which means that their children will also have a greater chance in living in poverty. Education is the route out of poverty for many children. It gives them a chance to gain the knowledge and skills needed to improve their lives. But millions of children never see the inside of a classroom, unfortunately. For many families, the long-term benefits of sending their children to school are overweighed by their immediate need to send them to work or keep them at home to help with the chores. Children miss out on school because of their families need them to earn money, but by sacrificing their education, they become trapped in a cycle of poverty. Education is often referred to as a great equalizer. It can open the door for jobs, resources, the skills that a family needs to not just survive, but thrive. Last year, when the United Nations committed to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, they recognized that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. I believe that ensuring quality education for all is not only central to the achievement for all the global goals, but in particular, the goal to end extreme poverty. Education can combat the underlying structures of poverty. Increased access to education can contribute to reducing the poverty. Acquired basic skills such as reading, writing, numeracy have a documented positive effect on the marginalized population's incomes. Education is directly related to many solutions to poverty, including economic growth, reduced income inequality, reduced infant and maternal deaths, reduced stunting, reduced vulnerability to HIV and AIDS, reduced violence at home and in society. These 3 points that I mentioned are the reasons that United Nations named the education its fourth sustainable development goal. Let's put this into context. Here are 3 ways education directly affects poverty. First of all, education develops skills and abilities. A quality education system supports a child's developing social, emotional, cognitive, and communication skills. Education programs also support the development of knowledge and abilities. Children who receive quality primary education are more likely to develop these assets at a higher level than those who don't. They can use these abilities and skills to earn higher incomes and further develop their basic assets. The second point that I would like to make is education can find inequality. Before giving more people opportunities to participate in society, we need to address some specific obstacles to participation. Often the most vulnerable communities aren't recognized as equals in their community. As a result, they lack representation, power, and status. But at an individual level, education is a basic human right for all. The third point I would like to make is education can decrease risk and vulnerability. In many countries where we work, the lives and livelihoods of the extremely poor are often tied into conflict, epidemics, and natural disasters. These can act as force multipliers or elements that increase the likelihood that poverty will continue for the poorest countries. But knowledge, as the old saying goes, is power. Besides reducing inequality, education can safeguard against vulnerability and risk. This also reduces inequality. The ongoing Syrian conflict, for example, threatens to leave millions of Syrian refugees, children, a lost generation. Those living in Turkey are also faced with language barriers between Arabic and Turkish. In situations like war and epidemics, there are also psychosocial barriers to education. There is no strict consensus on standard definition of poverty that applies to all countries. Some define poverty through the inequality of income distribution, and some through the miserable human conditions associated with it. So in final, education is not key to empowering our next generation out of poverty. It is the most important key to empowering our next generation out of poverty. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you, Oytun. But I have to say something about your speech. Because of the distance, I think there's a wind, sound of the wind has interrupted your speech sometimes. So some of the words couldn't be understand very well. Arkın, yes, I think he has to.
Arkın wants to say something.
Yes.
I heard everything very well. There was no problem about the sound. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, if there is no problem.
Did Yağız and also Ezgi heard it well, I think? Any problems?
I heard. Is there any problem?
Okay,
There is no problem about the voice.
Okay, so our jury
No problem. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Oytun. Good luck.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Now we are waiting our juries. So, by the way, you are ready? No, not yet. Oytun has gone, I think. Okay, when we are ready, we will continue with the İrem from Çankaya. Hi, İrem. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you. A bit excited about the speech, but everything is okay.
Yeah, it's our common feelings, I think, that excitement.
Yeah.
So you are from Çankaya, right?
Yes, I'm from
So
Çankaya.
how's it going on Çankaya? The weather is same with Istanbul. It's so sunny and very nice, but it's during this pandemic. Okay, our juries is ready, I think. Okay, it's your turn, İrem. Good luck.
Thank you. I can start.
Okay, whenever you are ready, we can.
Okay. We are walking through a paved road surrounded by fields with full of crops, and there are farmers over there. They look really young, but I can sense they have a lot of knowledge about agriculture. I can sense it from their productivity. There is a building in front of us. I think in order to understand where we are, we need to check that building. Let's go. Look, there are young boys and girls doing exercises in garden. They look so energetic and give the right of the discourse that so the head is in a healthy body. Wait, can you hear the music? Harmony of the instruments? Violin, mandolin, piano. It's so refreshing. Now we are inside the building. There are classes for literature, science, math. This place is a school, and we are surrounded by educated, cultured, creative young people. What is it? Some kind of a utopia? Actually, no. This place is Village Institute in Turkey, and we are in 1943. Village institutes were established to liberate villagers with education and culture, to provide the means to enlightenment Anatolia. For this aspect, we can say that those institutes were social transformation projects to conduct modern productive Turkey. 80% of people were living in villages at that period of time. In order to improve productivity, there were two basic needs. One, skilled workers, and the second one is soil suitable for were institutes. Institutes are great examples for us to understand the strong relation between education and economy. Teacher candidates in the institutes took classical and practical courses. They didn't learn only the subjects, but also they learned exposition and discussion. They found their own voices and went to the post-war Anatolia to become a light. These institutes made a huge impact in national and international areas. Because of that impact, those institutes were put on target by the people who are afraid of the potential of those villagers. And unfortunately, they were terminated in a short period of time. But they operated in 6 years. However, in those 6 years, 25,000 of people were graduated from those schools. 25,000 of people achieved a big success. How? 15,000 acres of land were made suitable for agriculture, and productivity increased in a short period of time. 100 kilometers of roads, 150 large-scale buildings, 12 power plants were constructed by those people. Maybe those big steps became smaller after the termination, but today we know that their effect is the thing that brings us today. Nowadays, the main discussion is education. The needs of the changing world requires different strategies in education in order to create a in order to succeed in strategy. We need to have an aim. The important thing is the aim. The key question is that what kind of population do we want to create, and what do we want to expect from them? What do we expect from them? This is the key questions. And we know that the education without an aim is nothing. The founder of the Turkey and our great leader Atatürk had an aim: to reach the highest level of civilization and prosperity. Because of that, to reach that goal, he believed in our next generations to construct social, democratic, and scientific society with strong economy. He believed only in education. Because of that, those institutes were a big success, and they are the most important examples for us to understand the effect of education with an aim is the key to empowering our next generations out of society. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ram, for your speech. Now,
Thank you.
we
I
are
was so excited too.
also, you have some supporters on YouTube also. They say good luck for you, and they like also.
Thank you.
Welcome. And if I take the signal from our juries, now we will continue with our next speakers. Ceramsu Banar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Ceramsu. Hi,
Cem-
can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. And
Okay.
hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome.
Uh,
When you are ready, it's your turn. You can start anyway.
yes, I'm ready. And I can start if you are ready. Have a nice day. I'm Ceramsu, and I'm 21 years old, and I'm going to graduate environmental engineering in 2 years. I'm going to looking for a job and nothing. This is the easiest part of my conversation. Dear jury and participants, let's start if you want. Poverty and education are concepts that have come across in many different ways in recent years. Poorment limits, starvation line, formal education, face-to-face education, open education, and distance learning are some examples for this one. First of all, we know what the poverty and education are. Actually, the definition of poverty defined by United Nations as follows. Poverty entails more than the lack of income and productive resources to ensure sustainable livelihoods. Its manifestations include hunger and malnutrition, limited access to education, and other basic services. Social discrimination and exclusion, as well as the lack of the participation in decision making. In 2015, more than 736 million people live below the international poverty line. Around 10% of the world population is living in extreme poverty and struggling to fulfill the most basic needs like healthcare, education, and access to clean water and sanitation, to name a few. There are 122 women aged 25 to 34 living in poverty for every 100 men of the same age group, and more than 160 people, 60 million children are at the risk of the continuing to live in extreme poverty by 2030. And education is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. Educational methods include teaching, training, storytelling, discussions, and direct research. Another point, as the world population is approaching 8 billion, from the definitions above, it can be understood that the way to overcome the poverty is directing the people whose development is achieved through education to production. Especially underdeveloped and developing countries struggle with poverty because of lack of the educated and qualified human resources. For example, the young people with the young republic with the establishment of Republic of Turkey in the village institutes intend to participate in the training of human resources and production. This goal was accomplished significantly until it was closed in late 1940s, I think. Also, people who sent to study abroad returned to Turkey at the time. Many people have played important roles in the establishment of Republic Factory. However, education is not training of people. It's a diploma based on the theoretical education. The aim of the education is to train people who have mastered the application as well as theoretical knowledge. If we think a veterinarian who is afraid of the animals, maybe theoretical engineer. And another example is about agricultural engineer who does not like stepping the mud. But such education is not cure for poverty, but it's a factor that increases poverty. Providing access to nutrition, hygiene, health, and etc., which is one of the most basic rights, means eliminating poverty. Actually, another point, perhaps the achievements of the all is related to the demands of the people from the government. The training of the people who will demand this will increase their demand power. And as a last word, I want to end with this question. Is poverty a fate, or is that the rulers that run the countries take away their power to demand their people without education? It's an important question, and really we need to think this point. And that is my speech, and thanks for everything. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Cemresu, for your speech. Good luck for you. Now we are waiting our juries to your scores till next speakers. Hope everything is okay in Eskişehir.
Everything is okay. I'm just a little nervous maybe.
Yeah, I understand. I have the feel excitement also. It's a little bit difficult to speak in public, in front of everybody. I can understand you right now.
Okay, thanks. See you and good luck.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Our juries, I think they are ready. Okay, thank you. Our next speaker is Kerem Togay from Bahçeşehir.
Hello.
Hi, Kerem.
Hi. I'm very fine. Thank you very much. How are you? Can you all hear me well? Is everything okay?
Yeah,
technically.
It's okay. So whenever you are ready, you can start. It's your turn. Good luck.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, again, my name is Kerem Togay. I'm 37 years old, and I am actually working in the IT sector as a business development director. But today, as you can see, I'm coming in front of you as a chef. First of all, thank you for all joining this meeting over here about education and how it is key in empowering our next generation out of poverty. First of all, I would like to talk about a few more important things and the meaning of education. First of all, education, according to most of us, is kind of a systematic receival of information or instructions. So we could say that it could be considered a school or university or training centers that could be used. But according to the Oxford Dictionary, it is also a process of teaching, training, or learning, especially in schools or colleges, to improve knowledge and development skills. Now, when we talk about education and poverty altogether, it comes in actually three different ways. So the first way is the traditional formal education, which would be school education or high school education or university education, master's degree, whatever. There are two other different education systems which are actually not considered as education, but they are, and they're very important. One of them is informal education, and the other one is non-formal education. Basically, informal education is something like a father or a mother teaching something practical to their child, or a friend of you teaching you how to pay your bills online. That would be a informal education. It will be a way to teach you something that is made easier or more practical, which makes life easier for you. Also, again, is a way to prove you out of poverty. But as on top of that, you have non-formal education, which is kind of connected to the character that I'm in today. And non-formal education is a way of education where you learn something through time and experience rather than someone teaching you what it is. So, for example, when I was studying university, I started off working in a restaurant's kitchen as a dishwasher. And I moved up my ladder of careers and I became the head chef of an Italian restaurant by the time I finished my university degree. And after that, in my professional life, as well as working as a business development manager through my professional life, I also worked as a chef part-time, just as a hobby to continue my skills. Now, comes to the point where it comes to play a role in poverty, we come to something called financial education. This is actually first time published by Lusardi Clapper in 2015, which is called financial literacy. Now, basically, financial literacy is something where people use a systematic way of managing their finances, regardless of which sector you're using it in. So, for example, this could be agriculture, this could be sports, this could be education, this could be any kind of sector that you can imagine. For example, to give you an understanding and an idea of financial literacy, Turkey was a country that broke down from an empire where it looked like the financial resources and everything else was very rich, but actually it wasn't. And when the empire broke down and with the founder of the Turkish Republic, Atatürk, was founded, he actually said that education was primary to save the country from poverty. So he actually started off village training centers where primary school teachers were being trained. And this, within 10 years of period between 1937 and 1949, so around 10 years, it actually increased the number of teachers in the country by threefold. So at 1937, number of teachers were around 6,000 people. And by the end of the 10 years, it was around 18,000 teachers around the country. And in 1939, because of this development of education, Turkey was also not agriculturally growing, but also economically by building their own airplanes. And in the Second World War, Turkey wasn't a part of the war itself. And they were actually able to economically advance by selling these planes into the Second World War countries that were fighting against each other. So, to finalize my speech, I would like to say that I am a true believer of education, but we need to understand the levels of education and how we are meant to split them up. So formal education is very important, but also non-formal education is also important in order to balance a country and its economy and to bring it out of poverty. Because not only do you need engineers to lead forward a country, but also you need plumbers and agricultural workers and electricians as well. Thank you very much for your time and listening to me. I hope it was enjoyable.
Okay. Thank you, Kerem, for your speech. You have also some supporters in YouTube channel. You have lots of fans also. By the way, I like your costume, your your hat also. You look
Thank
like
you so much.
an Italian chief. Good luck for you. Now we are
Thank
waiting
you.
our juries. Your choreo, of course.
I didn't have YouTube on, so I don't know what was going on there, but I'm very excited to watch it afterwards. I'm very interested to see what people have to say.
I am trying to follow also group chats and also at the same time with YouTube. Just sometimes I'm forgetting to say something from the YouTube. Everybody says they make comments also for positive comments, of course.
Well,
okay, thank you.
Thank you
Our
very much.
juries are ready, I think. Yes.
So I'm just leaving the room now. Thank you very much to all of you. It was a pleasure.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, our next speakers is someone I personally know, Nisan. Welcome, Nisan, from JCI Turkey. When you are ready.
I'm ready, but first of all, I would like to sure if my voice and my screen is okay for all of our judges and the people who are watching us right now. Is it fine?
Okay, fine. Yeah, jury says okay. Okay, good luck. You can start.
Hi, everyone. I would like to give little information about myself. My name is Nisan, and I'm going to talk about today. Education is the our empowering our next generation and out of the poverty. But first of all, I would like to remind some part of words, what they are meaning. For myself also, I would like to say is education. What is education? We can talk about education until maybe tomorrow today, but I have limited time, so I would like to specify these words a little bit, my words. Maybe we can say about education, the educational system, we can take our schools or universities. But this is not the only thing in education. But I'm passing this right now, and I'm coming to the poverty. What is poverty? Poverty for today's, maybe 2020s, we can say being out of money and being really in a situation poor. How we can combine these two situations to empower our next generation to get out of the poverty situation with the education. I would like to give some little researches about the made by Marmara University's psychological department. In these days, there's 62% of the students could not reach the educational system today. I would like to give another information these days. As you all know, we are in a situation, surviving pandemic situation in 2020. And we all talked about in the past how our kids could reach the online educational system in these days. And we can all have access to our phones with technology, with our computers, and with our other tablets and other devices we can use. But we are seeing in a mostly incredible these years, there are 42% people out of this online educational system. So this is the not only key to give all the people, all the students education and expect them to get out of the poverty. I have some ideas about the generation with the Z and the millenniums are about to come next few decades. Also, another researchers results in Harvard Business Review, they're talking about this is Z in millennium generations wouldn't be known any information, how they could take any information if they don't have any technical devices, Google, or any other computers. As you all know, in our ages, people could know encyclopedias and the books and the other materials to find any information and then get their educational. But after a few decades, we are not knowing these situations, and the Z generation and the millenniums could lead the community they're gonna live in. But there's still some concerns about, is it going to, this percentage will decrease whole world. I myself also don't know. We all gonna live if we have that much life, and we're gonna see the results of these. Also, I would like to tell about last thing that I'm thinking about this educational system. For myself, I believe as an active citizen, the community I'm living in, education is the most powerful thing that I'm decreasing myself day by day, and I can impact the other people in the community I'm living in. But if I couldn't have opportunities like this, I have internet, I have devices, I have technology like this, and I'm reaching to all you now how I feel and how I express myself. But unfortunately, maybe not so much far, maybe 2 blocks out away from here, there are people, there are students couldn't have these advances to reach all of you. So as a people, to being leader and to being to trying to be leader and active citizen in the community this I'm living in, maybe there is another responsibility I should take care of my shoulders and to help those people who cannot have achieved to talk like me. But I would like to share about another opinion of myself. Maybe we are young citizens and active leaders in the community we are living in could help those people who cannot take the education like us. Maybe we can empower them with ourselves, with our knowledges, and take them maybe not above the sky, but maybe another step forward. So I would like to end my speeches here and take you for all of you to listening me. And I'm really excited to see all of you some part of places in our beautiful country. And greetings from Istanbul again. Sergeant, this is my last words, and I would like to thank you for your patience and all of judges. If you have any questions, I can reply to you.
Thank you for your speech. So while our jury is calculating your scores, so how is your quarantines going on?
Actually, I returned to work since last Wednesday, and I'm working with my offices. And you know, these days maybe thought to us, to all of us, a lot of things. But I learned as much as how the precious the people we have in our life and how the precious moments we are living in. So from now on, I'm trying to collect and save the best of them.
Okay.
So how about your side? I hope you are all okay.
Okay, good luck. Our juries are ready. Okay, they finished. Okay, thank you, Nisan.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day for all of you.
Take care. Bye bye. So our next contestant is Ecegül Somay. Is also from Beşiktaş. She's from my branch also. Hi, Ecegül. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you very much.
Okay, if you are ready, we can start also.
Yeah, I'm ready. We can start it.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
It's your turn. Welcome.
Thank you. Honorable jury and dear audience, my name is Ece, and today I'm here for briefing one of the most struggling issues, like education is the key to empowering our next generation out of poverty. I have a huge ambition to explain my ideas and refer to some points to summarize how education influences economy and reduce poverty and the relationship between education, women, and their impact of the poverty. But before explaining my thoughts through the issue, I want to start with the definition of poverty. It means that a person does not have enough material possessions or income for a person's need. Poverty may include social, economic, and political elements. According to the Poverty Activity Organization, the problem was ineffective programs and policies, which generated limited evidence on what works best to help the poor. To reduce the poverty, governments or NGOs may take several actions, but the educations come forward among these actions fight for the poverty. It's an agreeable fact that educated person works a lot, makes tons of investments, which leads to the contribution of the economy, and because of increasing well-being, poverty reduces automatically. It can be found that regardless of degree, education brings different viewpoints into the people's lives because education opens a door for everyone and which they have not been aware of or known for. Education is multidisciplinary and people get information from them and use it forward. Think about inequality. Inequality among countries is unfortunate, but it is a strong evidence that supports the impact of the poverty. When we examine the developed countries like Germany or the United States, it can be observed that these countries put education in their first place and make many investments. These countries, the importance of education has continued exponentially. So, according to the reports, these countries poverty reduced day by day. On the other hand, if we look at the less developed countries like Sudan or Haiti, it can be discovered that they are facing high level of poverty. Their GDP does not allow the governments to put education in the first place because they have to focus on more critical issues such as hunger, staying safe and healthy. Actually, these countries have in a loop. Since the people are not educated, they cannot find a solution to reduce poverty, and because of facing poverty, the governments avoid making investments in any educational activities. Well, maybe it's a little bit specific, but I want to emphasize the importance of education in women out of the poverty. When a child is born, he or she stays with his or her mother. So a child gets his or her first education from their mother. Like from my own experience, my mom is my role model. She is well educated and takes care of me in every detail. She motivates me to move forward and do better, which influenced me to do better. This has happened just because my mom is well educated in every aspect of her life and inspires me a lot. Think about how each mother acts like my mom and motivate their children. Consequently, an educated woman gives her child or children a dream, hope, and motivates them to do better. A motivated child reaches his or her potential and makes a contribution of the country, which reduces poverty eventually. This is one aspect of the significance of women education, to reduce poverty. Another aspect is that as a business graduate, I remember there have been many researches about gender and their difference in attitudes, behaviors, and viewpoints. Every research meets at one point. Men and women approach different aspects for the same issue. Like in reality, we can think that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. In the same issue, men may bring analytics and women may bring their sensitivity, and the outcome may be more effective. The combination of the diverse features prompt creativity, innovation, and diversity. Maybe you think that they may be not relevant, but indirectly, it leads to reduced poverty. Well, I want to give another solid example of how an educated woman can reduce poverty for the next generations. I don't know if you ever heard about a barefoot college. If you're not, I highly recommend to Google it. At Barefoot College, people can learn how to survive, basically. It denies a formal education and adapts learning by doing philosophy. One of its projects to teach Afghan women to produce energy. Afghan women visited Indian women in their village and learned how to produce energy. Then they went back and implemented their village. Now they've produced electricity without using wind roses, and their children go to school and learn not only daytime, but also daytime. The village was rewarded by Afghan government for diminishing poverty and encouraged to teach other Afghan villages. So we can see that an educated woman can change the world, gives other generations to hope, and as a result, poverty will be decreased. At the end, poverty is one of the critical issues that United Nations has defined as one of the social development goals. There are several solutions to overcome this problem, but the exact solution is making investments on education and letting people to educate themselves and reach their potential for the contribution to society and diminishing poverty. The governments have to put educational activities in their first place. On the other hand, women education has to be cautious because children get their first education from them, brings diverse points of view an issue, and if they are motivated, they can change the fate that they are living in a country. Consequently, if we want to diminish poverty for the next generations, we have to take action on these points. Before ending my speech, thanks for your patience and listening to me. Like this is ending of my speech. Like thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ecegül, for your speech. So you live in Istanbul?
Yeah, I'm living in Istanbul.
Yeah, but did you live in abroad before because of your accent?
Yeah,
like
I live in the
fluent.
United States for 3 years.
Ah, okay. So our juries, they're ready. Our Arkın is ready. Yağız is ready. Ezgi also ready. Okay. Thank you, Ecegül.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Our next speakers is Melih Aya from Bodrum. Hi, Melih. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. How are you all?
Fine. How about you?
I'm good. It's a bit hot today, but it's all right.
Okay. If you are ready, you can start.
Yeah, we can start, I think.
Okay. Good luck. It's your turn.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all ages, hello to everyone. Here Melih speaking. Just let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Melih Aya. I am from Muğla, Turkey. I studied metallurgy and materials engineering in 9 Eylül University. It's in Izmir, another city in Turkey. And now I'm working in a shipyard as a composite engineer. I met with JCI about 5 months ago, and since then, although we are in this pandemic, we have been doing very good jobs together. And even yesterday, it was Disabled Awareness Week. We JCI Bodrum inspired that and organized online concert for our disabled brothers and sisters in Bodrum. We joined via Zoom, and we all come together, talk to each other, sing together, and we proved that we are stronger together. Now let's turn to our subject. I'm here to talk about my ideas about education is the key to empowering our next generation of poverty. I am saying we all need to, I'm not saying we all need to have the standard education and the standard rules you will consume, obey, and die. I'm just thinking that we need to know the education is equivalent to knowledge, skills, and understanding to take new generations their place in social life and helping find and develop their personalities, personal abilities. For instance, this is also an education for me. I learned when I will be here, how long I can stay, and to who I am going to speak. But I'm using my own words. I'm just trying to improve myself. So, I mean, finishing poverty is not just passing through a one standard door and boom, it's done. But yes, it's opening the main door for reaching other doors. As our ancestors says that, don't give me fish, teach me how to fishing. So I can catch and I can develop how to catch easily, how to finish my hunger and poverty. I talk about the main door, but what are the other doors? These are like working hard, how to having teammates, working as a team, leading to team, and of course, saving enough and using it wisely and fairly. I'm saying fairly because we shouldn't just think about ourselves. We also think about our world and the people around us. Because human rights and employee rights are very important. On the other hand, making yourself rich is not going to finish the poverty. You need to educate that emotional things as well to new generation. We will know that we need to think about environment as well. that will keep our mental and physical health up. On the other hand, you can have everything that make you live comfortable in luxury, but you need to care about environment, because if you lose your health and mental, your all luxury and comfortable things will be useless because you cannot use it. Yes, education is really important, but it depends. It depends what you educate and what you teach. If you give your kids, your students, I say kids because parents also teach us and educates us. If you give them ambitions, they will focus on saving themselves for don't mind the employees, don't mind the other people, just their self. And they will say that I got the money, I will give you less money, ask for more work because I need to be the best. I don't mind the rest. That will may finish his or her poverty, but in the world it will still exist. Shortly, education is not just about science and financial. If you want to finish poverty, you need to have emotional and ethic education as well. You cannot say poverty, you cannot see poverty in most of poor countries or the villages. Although they don't have high technology and luxury materials, they don't have poverty because they always teach themselves helping each other, sharing and caring about each other. But of course, I'm not saying science and technology is not important because, for example, in our lockdown, via technology, we all know how to protect ourselves, what to do, what we shouldn't do, and also about our education system worked with technology. And science is also very important because we couldn't cure our illnesses and the sickness without any our science guys. They are all important together, but we have to arrange the balance of it. If we just go on the technology and leave the other alone, leave the emotional rest, we cannot do anything. But if we just go on the emotional things, just love each other, care each other, when we have the problems like this pandemic, we cannot know how to defend ourselves. I mean, I'm just trying to keep my mind again, but I think I'm almost finished my words, so I just got stuck, I think. So I will just finish my words. We need to educate ourselves, our kids, our people around us about our emotional things, about our science, but shouldn't separate anything. That's almost done from me. Thank you for listening to me. I am a bit excited, so I couldn't tell everything that I can say. Sorry, and thank you for listening to me. That's all my words.
Okay, thank you, Melih.
Thank you. I just got a bit excited and speak too fast, so I think I couldn't arrange the time. Sorry for that.
Yeah, okay. If our juries are ready, we will take another speakers. Okay, they are ready. Thank you, Melih. Bye-bye. Take care. Our next speakers is Burhan Akkurt from Istanbul branch. Hi, Burhan. Can you hear
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How about you?
I'm fine. Just doing the getting through this quarantine days, and soon, hopefully, it will be over.
Yeah,
and we turn our normal lives.
We are listening to you right now. If you are ready, you can start.
So whenever I want to start, I'm starting, right?
Yeah.
So let's start. Don't wait you too much because you just heard many speeches, many great speakers. Hello, my name is Burhan again. I'm from JCI Istanbul. Today, I would like to talk about the education, the effect of education on the poverty, and it has a power to getting rid of poverty or not. Although I'm a young person, I have an old school mind, and I would like to start with the fundamentals of education, because it's a very wide concept to examine. Although I think many speakers would focus on the education, just the conventional education that we have been through, like 12 years. I would like to also talk about the education itself. Education has three legs, three pillars, which are learning, training, and growing. And this functionality can be implemented in many areas: the moral education, sports education, conventional education, and so on and so forth. So I would like to talk about education itself and it has a effect on the poverty or not. So if we look at the pillars, we can see that there is a process of human beings from bottom to top, because if you learn something, you can train. If you can train, you can grow. And if you can grow, you can get prosperity, okay? You can get the prosperity. If the public, if the society do this, the natural process of education can be adjusted our lives. And this comes with the gains. What are the gains? If a person has a growth process, that means he or she or the public itself, society itself, can improve in many areas, in every areas. So if you look at the poverty itself, poverty means that the scarce of resources compared to the needs, compared to the demands. So if you grow yourself, you can also grow your budget. You can also grow your income. You can also grow your products, outputs, revenues. You can call it everything you want. And if you look at this table, it's very clear that in the process, you start to produce something. It can be something tangible, intangible, it's up to you. But producing comes with prosperity. How can we know that? Look at North America and South America example. South America had very, very much raw materials, mines, many precious diamonds, etc. They were very prosperous because before the establishing of the United States of America. And the North America had a very bad climate, had almost no mine, no diamonds, and no precious things in that area. But they had mines, clear mines, and they had clear efforts to produce and to get outputs. So they came together, they combined their intelligence and their actions and their plans and their learning and their education processes, because they really valued the education. I mean, the Harvard, if you look at the Harvard's establishment years, it's very, very early in the establishing of university in the world. So you can see that they very valued the education, the learning, training, and growing processes, because they lead the industries, they lead many manufacturing industries, and they just produce with their after the educational process, they became able to produce, and they were able to get the incomes, generate the incomes of the outcomes and results of this education. Because if you don't have any education, you cannot produce. So education itself is a function and machine of producing. And if you produce, you get the revenues, you get the income, you get whatever you want at the end as a result. So North America is right now very, very prosperous. Right now, North America has a very big wealth in actually the biggest economy in the world. And they are very far away from the South America, if you look at the GDPs and other stuffs about prosperity. So as a result of this, we can see that the education leads prosperity and reduces poverty. So consequently, education is a process of producing, is a process of getting and gaining, and it can be anything, and also it reduces the poverty itself. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Burhan.
You're welcome.
Good luck for you. So our juries, if they are ready, we will take our last final speakers. Okay, they are ready. Now is Can Gedik from Avrasya. Is he ready? Not ready, I think, right now. We are waiting him. Ready and coming, okay. Rejoining the room, they say. Yes, he's ready. Hello, Can. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, good luck. It's your turn.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And when it will be start? Now? Hello?
Sorry?
Can you give me a sign when to start, please?
Okay. You can start anytime you want. We are all ready.
All right. So, okay. Are we all agree that education is the key to empower our next generation out of poverty? Are we at the same page? Okay. Let me tell you something. Little Boy and Fat Man. Have you ever heard those names? In August 1945, Little Boy and Fat Man killed 150,000 people in action with a heartbeat. As you may also guess, those are the names of the atomic bombs that US used against Japan's civilians to abandon Japan from the World War II. It was a massacre weapon, so that not only finished the war between US and Japan, it also finished the whole Second World War. And the world gave a promise to not use it again. 45 years later, 1990, Nelson Mandela, Madison Park High School in Boston. And he cries, "Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world." Everybody applauds. 35 years later, nowadays, we all admit that education is a key to eliminate the gender equality, reducing the poverty, creating a sustainable planet, preventing the needless deaths and illnesses, and fostering peace and prosperity. It's not a wishful thinking, though. It's all, according to UNESCO, if all students in the low-income countries would just have their reading skills and reading education, estimated like 171 million people could escape out of poverty. If all adults completed their secondary graduation, we would cut the poverty rate by more than half. And I just don't want to miss something here. When we are talking about the education, we're not talking about like BA or PhD. Are we talking about this? Mandela continues. To a narrow-minded person, it is really hard to explain that being educated is not being literate and having a BA, and that illiterate man can be far more educated than someone with an advanced degree. What I'm trying to say here is education is the education we are talking about here is to making aware people to what they can do. It doesn't have to be a proper school or a proper graduation or something. That this can be like in an informal class or maybe a training. Jaize Ürün, for example, she was an illiterate housewife and having struggles with difficult life conditions and economic struggles. And then she decided to go to a greenhouse training. When she got her greenhouse training, now she has her own greenhouse and she gets 6 tons of product every year. Thumbs up, Jaize. Yes, let's see that in a wider picture. In the book *Sapiens*, you all know Hariri. Just to briefly say, of course, humankind made its way to here with 3 major steps. Along with the cognitive revolution 70 years ago, Sapiens began to start elaborate culture. Then came along the agricultural revolution, which started like 12,000 years ago, and lastly, 500 years ago, scientific revolution. And this is the place where things get a little messy, because it is the very point we use education to back up science, not to educate people to kill the poverty. Instead, we used it to boost the economic circumstances of industrial revolution. Lo and behold, we used quantum physics not to find the secrets of the universe or use it against to develop our commonwealth. We use it against ourselves to kill each other. When we were talking about the best weapon to change the world, we were not talking about the atomic bombs, for God's sake. Yeah, think about that. How many little boys and fat men are among us? And they're exploding their minds and killing us with their frustrations, their poverty, and they're spreading the pandemics and stuff. Just imagine that with their ill thoughts. So, as I am thinking, if we are at the same page, like Einstein said, and thankfully we can share the Einstein's disappointment and frustrations about the quantum physics. He says, people, a human, invented the atomic bomb, but no mouse could ever learn how to build a mousetrap. So think about that again. Are we at the same page? It means education is not just a key, not just a tool, but the only way to empower our next generation, our children, your children, our children, out of poverty. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you, Can, for your effort and your speech also. You have lots of supporters also in YouTube. They say hi and they miss you. Okay, you were the last speakers, but before ending our contest, I have some announcement also. I would like to repeat the announcements. Please check your emails. They already sent the detail of the program. Tomorrow there will be a debate during all day, the semifinals and the finals also. Please check out the times on your email. So follow us and join us. I would like to thank you also our juries. Thanks for their time and their effort. They will calculate all the scores. And also thank you all the our audiences and supporters on YouTube channel. They say a lot of comments. By the way, I forgot to say I said already branches, but I would like to correct that mistake. It's our local chapters. Thank you, all of the contestants also. Would you like to add something, our juries? Anything to say? You can add. We will finish our contest. Okay. Ezgi, Yağız, would you like to say something?
Thank you all contestants. We listened very good and inspiring speech about the subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. And Yağız?
I just want to say that it is very good organization, and I see very good examples. What should I learn from the speakers? And of course, what should I not to do for the future speaking for myself? Thank you for everyone.
Yeah, it's a great experience for all of us. Yeah, you're right. And Arkın?
Yeah, it was a very nice experience for all of us and also for the participants also. It looks very experiencing for them to have that chance, and I'm sure that they learned a lot for their presentations. Thank you all, and congratulations to all of our participants. We will announce you the results on the 19th of May. Our lovely president will announce it. And till that, take care and join other events also. Thank you.
Yeah, it will be announced by the Altu, our president, on Tuesday, I think. Before I forgot, I have a last announcement also. Tomorrow is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals also. It will be a Kahoot. It's a knowledge competition also. And please, everybody's join that competition also. Thank you for everybody. Now our it will finish, I think. Someone is going to close the Zoom channel, I think.